Good morning, friends. Today I'm gonna encourage you with this word. Watch how you live. Destinies are connected to you. Watch the path that you take. Destinies are connected to you. Watch the decisions you make in life. Destinies are connected to you. Watch the lifestyle you have taken. These destinies are connected to you. See, we don't live alone. Our lives impact other people positively or negatively. Other people's life impact us positively or negatively. The Bible is littered with examples of men and women through their strengths and their weaknesses, so that we will learn how to conduct our lives on this earth. Adam and Eve are a good example. Through their insecurity and their fear and lack of contentment of where God has placed them, they listened to the devil. As a result, humanity is plunged into this mess that we are in today. Abraham, a man of faith, through Abraham all the families of earth shall be blessed. Yet Abraham made his own mistake. Through the years of his trial and waiting, Sarah suggested to him self-help. They bought that self-help. As a result, you and me are still suffering the consequences of Abraham's self-help. But thank God for redemption. Thank God for Jesus Christ. Joseph is a good example. Joseph was not overtaken by kind of circumstances and the treatment of life against him. His people's betrayer, selling to Egypt, put in the dungeon, accused, a slave in the land of Egypt, in prison. Yet he maintained his integrity. He maintained his uprightness. He maintained his fear of God. As a result, he was put into a position that God used him to deliver, to preserve the whole nation. We're still reaping the effect today. What about Moses? The Bible says that Moses refused the pleasures of Egypt. He was preserved in the king's palace, enjoy the dainties, enjoy the pleasures, enjoy the exotic lifestyle. Yet he denied that. He left that and ran away because he knew that he was a seed of Abraham. He wanted to identify with his people, and God used him to save, to deliver the whole nation. What examples of Korah and Achan in the wilderness? Korah, they started attacking the man of God. Don't follow people to attack a man of God. Don't follow people to attack presidents, people that God put in authority for you or over you. Don't follow people to criticize them. Don't follow people to attack them openly. Pray for them. You see what happened to Korah and Achan? The earth opened and they were swallowed. Don't engage in that lie. Because not only Korah, his whole family, everybody who identified with him went into the ground. Don't leave the example of Korah and his colleagues. There were so many examples. What about David? David was the president of the nation of Israel. David was a king of the nation of Israel. Because of his position, he commanded Joab to count the people contrary to the instruction of God. God called Abraham in Genesis and took him to the open city and asked him to look to the sky. Abraham looked and he asked him to count the stars. Abraham could not do it. God says to Abraham, so shall your seed be. Your seed shall be uncountable. But David, I don't know whether out of presumption or what, or pride, he commanded to count. After counting, God was annoyed. It was the whole masses that suffered. The innocent people, the president and the king was protected. Nothing happened to David. But the people, poor masses, died. Watch how you live. Watch how you live. What about Mordecai and Esther? Thank God Mordecai in the book of Esther refused to succumb to Haman, refused to worship man. He stood his ground because he knew the God in whom he believes. He stood his ground. If he had not stood his ground and compromised and worshipped Haman, an incarnate of the devil, will still find a way of destroying the Jews. Because whether the Jews do good or bad, the devil is still after them. So the best thing is to stand faithfully, to stand, to resolve to go all the way with God. Because whether you go or not, the devil is after you. It's better you stand on the side of God. As a result, Mordecai and Esther, they became instruments of preserving the Jews in the land of Babylon. What about Hezekiah? Hezekiah was a king. The man of God came to him, Isaiah, and told him, set yourself in order, prepare yourself, because you're going to die in this sickness. The Bible says that Hezekiah turned to the wall and started making warfare, giving excuses to God why he will not die, praying, interceding, praying to God, and God heard his prayer and gave him another 15 years. But after that 15 years, Hezekiah was lifted with pride. The king of Babylon came, and out of pride, he showed him all the secrets of his house and his kingdom. The same man of God came back again. What have you done, Hezekiah? And told him, you see how you did this? That your children will be taken captive because you have opened up yourself to your enemies and showed them the secret of your life. Your children will be taken captive to another land. They're going to suffer. They're going to become, Hezekiah did not go back to God in prayer again to pray